What is up, underdogs? What is up, IDP Army? It is your man, Jordan Reigns. I am a semi-professional fantasy football professional. That means I play fantasy football a lot. That means I talk about it a lot. That means sometimes I write about it. I'm sitting across from a man who is a true fantasy football professional, Dave Kluge. Dave, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Just get to talk football with you. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. So let's get into it, man. Excited to see what we're gonna do tonight.
Yes, sir. Amen. This is the Underdogs. Check us out. We have a podcast feed. You can click the link in the description below to get on that. We're going to hit you with this intro. We're going to talk about this week's Underdog slate, week 6, a little bit of a recap of how last week went. We're going to do a head-to-head draft, and then we will get you all out of here. So, let's go. All right, we are back. This is the Underdogs. I hope you guys like that intro. I worked on that Monday for, I don't know, an hour or so. Put a little heart and soul into it. Had some fun.
I like
But we
it.
got,
It looks
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like the music too.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's some good free music out there in the world of royalty free if you know where you're poking around on the internet. So, but we did a draft last week. Hopefully, you guys had a chance to go check that video out. Head to head, we've been doing that a couple of weeks now. We love the Underdog platform. That's where we play a lot of our daily fantasy. I know myself, I have never really been attracted to or had an affinity to the traditional style of daily fantasy that's available, but Underdog has really changed that for me. So I'm really just embracing it, going out there every week, doing some drafts, head to heads, doing some of the tournaments. The style of play is different. It's interesting. So Dave and I are kind of hoping to win a little bit of money by the end of the season comes around. We are embracing the platform, and it's evolving. I think next year it's really going to hit its stride. So, how'd you do? You beat me last week in our draft, so we got to get the elephant out of the room
I did.
first. Okay, we're 1-1 now.
Let's
How
get
you feeling?
I'm feeling much better after getting a W. After that first loss that we had after the first episode, I was feeling a little bad about it, but now we got ourselves a competition here. I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want you going up on me 2-0. That would have been pretty tough to crawl out of. But now it's a blank slate. We're back to where we started, and I'm ready to take the lead after this week.
Ooh, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. It's interesting this week's slate. Derrick Henry's not on the main slate, so he has been my 101 the past couple of weeks. I did take a look at some of the guys that are going to be at the top of the list this week. I don't know if you had a chance. Austin Eckler is kind of where I landed. He is not the highest projected. It's currently Christian McCaffrey, but they said he's a 50-50 to play. So I kind of am leaning towards Austin Eckler as my 101 this week. I think he just offers so much in the receiving work. I mean, he's got 6, 3, and 5 the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, a touchdown receiving every single week. And he's getting, well over into the double digit carries, 17 last week.
Now
So
something else, a nugget I just saw today about Austin Eckler too is he has already seen more goal line touches through week 5 than he saw all of last year together. So I mean that's the big thing that's been missing from Austin Eckler's repertoire so far is getting that goal line work. So now he's getting the receiving work, he's getting the goal line work. I mean, you should really be looking at him right up there with Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey every single week.
Yep, and that's kind of where I've landed. I kind of want to tip my hand too much. I have had the 101 each of the last 2 weeks in our drafts, but I was also kind of looking. I don't know if you looked at the leaderboard from this last week's tournaments. A lot of people ended up hitting on Devontae Adams, and I noticed this last week he was kind of slipping down boards. I don't think people thought that game would be as competitive as it was. It ended up being.
Mhm.
So a lot of people reap the rewards of getting Adams, in the second, third round, when he probably realistically in a lot of, the tournament plays and, the 6-man, 4-man drafts should have probably been going in the first round, especially in a half PPR format. The only other guy that I'm really thinking could maybe be the 101 this week is Najee Harris. Seahawks are giving up a
Ooh.
lot on the ground. They're just giving up a lot. The Seahawks are just giving up a lot these days. I think the Steelers are kind of playing with the chip on their shoulder because I mean they're everybody's favorite punching bag in the league right now. So I think we saw a lot of good things from Najee this last week. If you have the 101, are you thinking where are you landing between those two? If it is between those two, or is it maybe someone farther down the list?
I'm definitely going with a running back. I don't want to show my cards too much here, but I'm definitely going with
Tell
a running
me.
back if I get the 101.
I need answers, Dave. All right, all right. Well, the only other thing I really wanted to say is this week I was kind of looking and I was trying to target the matchup that I really liked. And I think I'm going to build a lot of Baltimore and LA stacks this week. They play each other.
It's gonna be
The
a fun
Chargers.
game, man.
I know it is. It's got all the trappings of a good game. It's almost in a spot where it feels like it's so big, it's too big to fail, which kind of scares me, especially coming off the last week. But I'm fully just going in. I'm going to embrace it. I'm not going to be cute. I'm not going to dance around it. I think I'm really going to embrace this matchup this week in my tournament plays and in my bigger pools that I do this week. In the head-to-head that we do, I'm sure I'll end up with a couple of them. I might not prioritize it, but I might. We'll see. We'll see. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and send you this link. You can hop on in there, guys, gals. If you're watching this video at home, join Dave and I at a draft. Click down the link below. Hop on Underdog. Play with us. The draft lobby is open 24/7, 365, baby. Let's go. All right, and I will
Ready?
share the screen here, and
Yeah,
we
once you
will
get that
get
screen pulled up, I will hop in.
you all set up. Are we there? We're there. All right.
Let's do it.
Head-to-head Underdog draft. Let's see who gets the one-on-one in this one. We're 1-1. Oh, 3 times in a row. You know what's crazy is I got the one-on-one. Like I only did 4 Best Ball Mania drafts this offseason. I got the one-on-one in 2 of them. And I heard so many people. I saw so many people on Twitter like bitching, like this is my 50th Best Ball Mania, and I still haven't gotten number 1. I was like, man, I'm just getting lucky. Now I got to pull off the win, though. So, like I said, I kind of tipped my hand earlier. I'm not even going to dance around it. I am taking Austin Eckler with my 101 here. I really think that matchup's going to be good. The Baltimore Ravens they're giving up a lot on the ground. Austin Eckler is electricity. He's dynamite. We already know that. Yeah, and he's my 101 this week. So that's where I'm going to go when this draft kicks off.
Queuing up some of my guys right now.
We got 12 seconds, guys. The countdown is live. Travis Kelce. Always a contender. Always a wise first round pick. But I'm taking Austin Eckler with the 101 on the short teams here. So if you guys aren't aware, on Underdog, you get 1 running back, 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end.
I mean, for this one, this is just my, there's a chance that he doesn't play, but I'm going to cross my fingers and hope for it. It's just a cheat code when you got Christian McCaffrey. So getting him at 2, I'm more than happy with. And then, the quarterback I really like this week is Josh Allen. I think that he's got a great matchup, and I'd love to sack him, but he's not in on this slate. So I'm going with my number 2 quarterback for the week, which is Lamar Jackson. Just coming off that huge game. I think he's going to keep it going this week.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal game by him. I mean, he really is. He's doing it all. I mean, he's the full package, bar none. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. For my number 2 pick, I am going to double up on running backs. I'm a Steelers fan. I like what Najee's done the last 3 weeks, putting up right around 20 points, half PPR format. Maybe I'm cutting down my upside a little bit. Not going triple wide receiver, but in a head-to-head against Kluge, I just want to make sure that I'm getting points on the board because it's going to be a close one. It always is. And then for my number 2, I am going to take Devontae Adams. He fell too far last week in drafts. People made up for it in a big way. There we go. Take a look at this board. Dave's on the clock.
Well, you're probably, I'm not going to be able to get the stack here because I already took my boy Lamar Jackson. But, I haven't had a chance to get Travis Kelce once so far. You've taken Travis Kelce every single time we've done this competition. It's my time. I'm taking it for myself, and I am going to pair him up with Tyreek Hill. One of these guys is having a huge week every single week. So I'm not going to get the Mahomes stack, but I got Tyreek, and I got Travis Kelce to go with Christian McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson. Love that so far.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great setup for you. Just, you don't have Patrick Mahomes, but you're still going to get all of Patrick Mahomes' points vicariously
Mhm.
through the guys he's throwing to. All right, I am going back to the well with Terry McLaurin. The target share is insane. Yeah, he had a tough week last week against Marshawn Lattimore, who has been playing lights out. Let's just call it what it is. So I'm going back to the well. It says I missed my pick. What? I said I had 6
Oh, it gave
seconds
you
left.
Mahomes.
Oh, I'll
I
take
think you
Mahomes,
waited
whatever. I
a
said I had 6 seconds left. I think I'm working with a little tiny lag over here. All right, so I'll take Mahomes. I'll take it. Not a bad pick. All right, so we're back to back. It looks
these are my
like.
last 2
Oh,
picks.
you're up.
Yeah, I got one guy queued up right now that I'm taking for sure that I'm pretty happy about. But man, this wide receiver is killing me. You got Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Jamar Chase. There's so many good options out there. I'm not really falling for the Mike Williams trap. He's
Trap.
looking good so far, but I can't put him up there yet as a top 5 receiver. But one guy who's done it consistently for years, and he was injured last year, so we didn't get to see it. But 2019, this dude was a beast. He's been a beast so far this year. Give me Cooper Kupp as my wide receiver 2 aside Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, you wild, man. You wild. I'm
I'm
telling you.
not scared of James Bradbury.
I'm going to take Mark Andrews coming off the huge game. He's had a couple of huge games now. That's going to round out my roster. It didn't go exactly as I planned. Somehow I ended up with Patrick Mahomes, but I still got Terry, which I'm fine. And I probably would have gone Patrick Mahomes as well, if I'm being completely honest with myself. Love getting Mark Andrews. He's now tied in 2 on the year. He's been good all season. Not great, but good. And we saw him be, amazing. He won me several matchups where I was, 99% projected to lose this last week. I'm sure there are many people out there with a story like that. So for anyone on the podcast, my team ended up being Patrick Mahomes, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, and Mark Andrews. Dave, walk us through your team and how you're feeling.
No, I'm liking this. And I didn't go for any stacks this week, and this is the first week that I haven't gone after a stack. And I mean, I guess I could have if I really wanted to take Marquise Brown. I mean, the man's been balling out, 11 touchdowns in his last 11 regular season games. He's sitting as a wide receiver 1 right now, which is crazy to see. But I don't have a lot of faith in him to do that week in and week out. I like this Chargers matchup. I think it's going to be a shootout, but opted to go without a stack in this one and just take Lamar all by himself. But when you got wide receivers like Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp, I don't think that's a bad problem. And then my running backs, Christian McCaffrey is just Christian McCaffrey. I don't think I need to say anything else about that. And then Aaron Jones, he's coming off 2 not so great weeks, but division game in Chicago. I expect them to commit to the run, really make sure that they can get Aaron Jones going. So I think that we got a big week coming our way from Aaron Jones. And then, I mean, what do I need to say about Travis Kelce? It's Travis Kelce. Of course you want
Yeah.
Travis Kelce as your tight end.
101, 101. All right, y'all. Go down in the comments. Let us know whose team you think is going to win. Go back and check out the last 2 videos. We went head to head before. We're 1-1. I'm interested to see how the season finishes out. Like I said, there is a little bit of hesitancy with me with my wide receivers because, well, one, Devontae Adams just went off. So I know he's not going to probably do what he did this last week. So anything's probably going to feel a little bit
Got
of a
a
letdown,
40,
but the floor is so high. And as far as Terry
40%
McLaurin,
target share on the year.
yeah, and that's the thing is, as a Robert Tonyan guy, I'm watching these games and I'm seeing that it doesn't matter who else is out there. Like he doesn't care. Like he just throws to Devontae Adams. That's who he trusts. That's what's worked for him for years now. Them, him, whatever you want to call it. So they're going in with that. Well, we got here the Fantasy Futurist podcast. My guy saying, "Sup, y'all? Loving the Eckler usage this season as well. Should I pick up Roundtree or Kelly to be safe given injury history?" You can always do something like that if you really feel the need to, but I don't think Austin Eckler is more prone to being injured than anybody else. He's handling the workload well. He's explosive. He doesn't look like he's been hurt ever in his career right now to me. So you could, if you really wanted to, I know if he gets hurt, it is going to hurt you. But if you're in a fab system and you have enough cash laying around, I wouldn't sweat it right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to the injury proneness too much. And then, it makes sense. I get like this. It's such a polarizing and heated topic talking about handcuffs in fantasy football. Some people say that it's the way you should go. Some say that you shouldn't. And, I'm somebody, I'm a little old fashioned. Sure, I might lose like, a smidgen of a percent of winning my league by handcuffing my players, but I like having those handcuffs. Like I've got Aaron Jones heavily in a lot of my redraft leagues, and I've got AJ Dillon in just about every one of those leagues as well. And people, I understand the argument. There's a very logical argument for going after other people's handcuffs and not wasting draft picks on your own handcuffs. But you better believe if Aaron Jones goes down, I'm gonna be pretty darn happy that I've got AJ Dillon on my bench. So maybe a little old fashioned, maybe not the analytical response, but I think that if you've got a guy who has shown injury history in the past, don't feel bad about handcuffing him.
Hey, that's fair, and that's good advice. Fantasy football, it's not one, it's one, in the hand to hand combat. And Evan Silva put out a tweet this morning, which is funny because it's how I describe fantasy football. It's a war of attrition. I mean, it really is. It's a
Mhm.
marathon. You lose a couple of weeks, but you have to remember it's a long race. It's a long season. There's a lot of different ways to win. You can catch a lot of breaks. You can catch not breaks. So just being prepared can definitely pay dividends. We got a question here on Twitter. We'll answer a couple of these for you guys. Pick one for flex PPR: Booker, Pittman, or Emmanuel Sanders. Ooh, that's an interesting little group for a flex. Booker's we saw really good usage from him this last week. Pittman, we saw him look like I saw him for the first time look like what everybody tells me he's been looking like. I've never seen it before, but I saw him. I was sitting right here in this chair and I saw him pushing this. I was like, oh damn. Okay, all right. I mean, I see you now, Michael Pittman. I see you out here pushing people, and then Emmanuel Sanders, dude, he just ends up wide open
He's
2 or 3
balling.
times a game,
Balling
just
right now.
40 yards downfield. So it's just like this is a
Yep.
great flex setup, my guy. Honestly, I think the question
I'm go
is,
I'm going
go
with
ahead.
Booker.
I'll defer
And
to you first.
yeah, I'm going with Booker, and that Patriots matchup is a little bit scary. But Emmanuel Sanders, he's been pretty dependent on touchdowns right now. It's crazy right now that he and Dawson Knox are both outscoring Stephon Diggs in points per game. But that's gonna end up getting a little bit closer as the season goes on, and Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs will pass him up. So I'm not going to keep counting on Emmanuel Sanders' really heavy touchdown rate that he's kind of getting by with right now. And then with Indianapolis, they're playing against Houston, so I don't think that they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I love what we saw from Michael Pittman so far to start this season, but this is a game where they might really just commit to the run, and Pittman might only come out seeing 4 or 5 targets. So I'm going Booker here for the floor.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's I'm gonna take the touches. The more I play fantasy, there are certain guys where I will go for the upside or the talent or whatever you want to call it, the fandom. I'll let my heart, direct me when my head should. But in this case, Booker is kind of like you said. You're looking at potentially 20 plus touches with Booker. You might get 20 targets combined with Pittman and Sanders. That's kind of a real possibility.
Hmm.
Sure, there may be a little more high equity, especially Sanders because he's got the NFL's MVP hopefully coming up, throwing him the ball. But yeah, Booker's probably the play here. I would agree. So, comment Brad Montgomery, what's up, guys? Tough one. Okay, we got another. We'll answer one more, and then we'll probably get you out here. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, go subscribe to this podcast. I'm probably going to cross over again on our podcast feed because on the last one I didn't actually put the link in the description. So if anybody actually tried to go find us, they probably couldn't. So I apologize for that. It's tough out here doing everything. All right, sometimes you forget stuff, guys. But all right, we got a tough one here from Brad. He says A-Rob, Ruggs, or Schultz in half PPR second flex spot. So he did not say that it was a tight end
Tight end
premium.
premium.
So that means that Schultz is not somebody I'm like immediately running to. Honestly, this is going to sound like crazy, but I think it's Ruggs as my second flex. I like the targets that he's been getting. I like that he's been consistently getting them. I mean, he hasn't really gone. I don't think he's gone under 50 yards this season, 60 yards this season. Um, sure, it hasn't. The volume isn't what you want, but this is your second flex spot. So whenever you kind of put that context on it, I love Henry Ruggs here for you, Brad. What do you think?
Oh man, I want to say Allen Robinson, but he just is not looking like Allen Robinson with Justin Fields. This is a team that's running the ball a lot more. They're really dumbing down the playbook for Justin Fields to put him in a position to succeed. And the other thing is just that Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields right now have an incredible connection that's really cannibalizing Allen Robinson. So I get what you're saying with Ruggs, but man, I'm gonna go with Dalton Schultz here. He's just been balling
Woo!
out. He's been looking so good. I understand you don't have the tight end premium, but I think that if you have to look at who's going to see the highest target volume out of these 3 guys, it's Dalton Schultz.
Anybody out there love Schitt's Creek? We could
Oh,
be
I
fans.
like it. I didn't get a chance to read it though. What did it say?
Hide your diamonds, hide your exes. It's a little bit of Lexus, baby.
Love it.
All right, there you go. You got two options there. I think they're both good. It sucks we're at a point where A-Rob is kind of out of the discussion, but I think it's important to adapt, and you're really at this point you have to look at this season under and through the lens of this season. That's kind of where we're at. So
Let me
yeah.
throw a question your way, Jordan, before we sign off, because I got to get my picks in by tonight. That's the deadline. And there's one game that I have flipped back and forth about 20 times on today. Arizona at Cleveland. Who you got winning that one? That's a tough one.
I don't. That's tough. It's tough because I feel like Kyler Murray this last week did not look and play like himself. So as the
Shoulder.
engine, as the little engine that could on that team, I don't know where they pick up or compensate for that against a Browns team that is playing like a well-oiled machine. Maybe they're not winning every single week, but the Browns organization right now is a well-oiled machine. And I would say, while Arizona's flashy, I would say they're less so that. So I'm going to go Brownies at home. I'm going to take the
That's
Brownies.
that's who I'm picking too. I'm not feeling good about it, but that's who I've
I'm
got selected right now. I might switch it 20 more times before I go to bed though.
I'm like a known Kyler Murray hater. Like I hate
Yeah.
using the word hater because I like players and stuff, but there are certain guys I'm just like, we just would never be friends. Like, nah. Like I walk in a room and I see that guy, I'm like, probably not. And that's nothing. I mean, like that's just life. Like you can't be friends with
Yeah.
everybody. I don't have to like everybody. I think Kyler Murray, he has a few too many fans sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm not one of them. So give me Baker, give me Chubb, give me Hunt. Give me Harrison Bryant. Give me Austin Hooper. Give me them boys in Brown. Let's do it.
You didn't even mention David Njoku.
Didn't even mention David Njoku. We got so many weapons up there in Cleveland right now. It's unreal. I didn't
Let's
even
go
mention
Cleveland.
OBJ either.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
That guy's a mess. Anyway. All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, like, subscribe. I'm Jordan Rains. That's Dave Kluge. This is the Underdogs. We will be back next week. Let us know in the comments whose team you think is going to win. Probably going to be mine. But and like I said, click the link below. Join us on some drafts because, like I said, I'm going to be drafting every night, watching Netflix between now and Sunday. So, Dave, any last words?
No. See you guys next week, and always have a fun time doing the show, Jordan.
All right. Peace out, y'all. We'll see you soon.